Hello, my name is Martin Keady, and this is the virtual pitch for my screenplay, Hemings and Condell, or The Men Who Saved Shakespeare. It is in three parts. Part 1, the pitch itself. Hemings and Condell, or The Men Who Save Shakespeare, is the greatest untold story in history. The story of how William Shakespeare's best friends, John Hemings and Henry Condell, saved his life and ultimately saved his work for posterity. Part 2, the treatment. Like a Shakespeare play, Hemings and Condell, or The Men Who Save Shakespeare, unfolds in 5 acts. Act 1, the tour. In 1594, after a disastrous tour of Kent, forced on them when plague closes London's theatres, Hemings and Condell consider quitting acting until they are recruited by Richard Burbage, London's most celebrated actor, for a new company, which will even have its own writer, an unknown called William Shakespeare. Act 2, the theatre. In 1598, faced with eviction from the theatre they had built by a puritanical landlord who loathes plays and players, the company faced ruin. But then Hemings and Condell come up with an extraordinary plan to steal the theatre, taking it apart plank by plank and nail by nail, and then transporting it across the frozen Thames to a new site on the other side of the river. Act 3, the plot. In 1601, when Shakespeare's former patron, the Earl of Southampton, demands that Shakespeare repay a debt of money that Shakespeare had thought was a gift for the sonnets he had written in the Earl's honour, the company unwittingly becomes involved in a plot to overthrow the Queen, Elizabeth I. When the plot is uncovered, they are accused of being part of it and face execution unless they can somehow convince the Queen that they were not knowingly involved. Act 4, the fire. In 1613, after the Globe burns down, Hemings and Condell reluctantly agree to buy Shakespeare's share in the company so that he can retire to Stratford and be with his family again after 20 years in London. And Act 5, Stratford. In 1616, after Shakespeare dies suddenly, Hemings and Condell attend his funeral, then realise that they must find his missing plays, almost half of all the plays he wrote, which were either destroyed in the fire at the Globe or just mislaid over the years, before they are lost forever. Part 3, the proposition or sell. Hemings and Condell, or The Men Who Save Shakespeare, is a story that needs to be told, as it shows that no man, not even the greatest of men, is an island, but it also needs to be told now. That is because 2023, which is just over 2 years away, will be the 400th anniversary of the publication of the first folio, the first collection of Shakespeare's plays, which Hemings and Condell oversaw, when there will be unprecedented interest in Shakespeare and the men who saved him.